Hey y'all, my name's Seth Packan, and this is Podunk Perspective, a podcast based on the Podunk Perspective. Sadie Bass, thank you so much for coming on Podunk Perspective. I appreciate it so much. You're an artist here in town from Michigan. I love your music. Tell us how you thought about moving to Nashville from Michigan.
Well, it was about 2020 when I decided to move, which was like right around COVID, actually. It was a weird time to move, but I had visited a couple times before to see what was going on down here, you know. Wait, you asked why I moved?
Yeah.
Or why? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was in Michigan, and I remember social media was kind of popping off at the time, and I was seeing artists like Sean Stemley, actually, at the time he had started to do really good, and he was telling me, hey, if you want to do music and you want to become a writer, like this is the place to do it. You can't do it from home.
Was music something you were always interested in, like growing up, like as a kid, you know?
Honestly, as a kid, I've always loved music, and I loved like all the different genres. But like what really caught my eye was I remember a guy was playing Guitar by a Bonfire, and I was like, God, I just love that because everybody would sing along, and you know you could do song requests, and you know I was singing ever since I was little, but I was really stage fright, so that was the problem. Yeah. But I loved all genres. I remember.
Were your parents like into music? Were they pushing you to do it, or?
My parents are not musical. My sister and my mom can sing like soft and sing like pretty, but nobody, you know, played an instrument or anything. But my mom had always said I was really good. But it's like my mom, you know. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I can trust you or not because you're my mother. And I've heard other people who sang who their mom said they were good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was not good. So, yeah.
Especially coming from Michigan too, I feel like not everyone's trying to be an artist or singing, so it's hard to get a true perspective of like, oh, am I doing things right, you know?
For sure.
So like when you were like, okay, I'm going to actually do this, were you pushing to do gigs up in Michigan, or were you more like, I'm just going to move down to Nashville and try to do that?
So I don't really think I truly really dove in and admitted, okay, I'm doing this as a career until I moved.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was, I remember I'd posted up just little clips of me singing on Instagram, and I didn't show my face or anything just to kind of see like if my mom was like right.
Yeah.
You know, because I loved singing. I love the songwriting aspect too, but I just put up little covers. And they did really well, but, I already forgot what the question is. Oh my God.
You're all good.
Oh my God. Wait, what was the actual question? I'm so sorry.
No, you're all good.
Cut. Scrap it.
No, I'm drawing a blank now. Shit.
Well, what was it that you actually asked?
Nolan, what was the question that we were talking about?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're all.
You had asked something.
You're all good.
I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. I only took a $5 today for my Addy.
We were so
ADHD or ADD something.
So we were talking about how you started pursuing music up in Michigan, and then kind of made the decision of, you know, come to Nashville or doing things up in Michigan.
Yes, and what actually had happened into Michigan to get me to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Michigan, I was posting up those little videos, and then shows. I got asked to do a show. I remember a 3-hour show, and I had like an older band. And I went and I did it, and I was really stage fright. Yeah. So, like, I wasn't comfortable on stage, and I didn't do, like, super, super good.
Absolutely.
But I just got a little bit better over time. But the reason I moved, too, was I was trying to figure out, am I a songwriter or an artist? Because they're different things, you know? And I knew I loved the songwriting, even though when I moved, it's funny that I did, because the songs I wrote at the time weren't very good.
Who were a few artists you grew up on?
I mean, I like all genres. The older artists too. I loved George Strait. I loved Hank Williams Jr. I loved Alan Jackson. But 2010s country, like in high school, man, really got me. I loved Jason Aldean, that rock aspect, Brantley Gilbert, but even like Keith Urban.
Yeah.
You know, Blake Shelton, Miranda Lambert, of course.
Have you got to meet any of your heroes after moving to Nashville, and have you experienced, you know, opening it up for them or anything like that?
Yes. Well, my main hero is Miranda Lambert and will always be, which is probably the story for a lot of girls, and I haven't met her yet. But Brantley Gilbert was a big one. We've gotten really close with his camp, and I just remember like doing the shows and like talking with him, and him being so amazing, and just thinking back to me listening to his car. You don't know her like I do.
Exactly.
Listening to that song and being like, I just would have never thought that actually I'd get to meet him, work with him, get to know him, you know?
Yeah. I think weirdly enough too, I think Brantley is huge up in Michigan, or was, you know, especially like in the 2010, you know, going into the teens and everything. Me and a bunch of my friends, we've always loved his music and stuff. And it seems like he's pulling a lot of young artists to open up for him in the last few years, which is really cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's such a badass, but he's so nice. He's so kind.
Yeah.
You know, he went out of his way to like make us feel welcome, and then would watch the set, which was terrifying.
Yeah.
But was like so nice, you know, that he would go out of his way,
Right.
you know, him to watch.
You did a lot of touring last year. How many shows are about?
Man, we did, in the last 2 years, we did just shy of like 100 both years.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
with all the travel and everything. This year we've been a little bit less just because I'm putting out songs every 6 weeks.
Yeah, so
and I'm working on socials, but
yeah, so you kind of hit the ground running in 2025. You put out 2 songs recently. Tell us a little bit about those songs.
I put out Dirt on Him, which is my version of Gunpowder and Lead. It's my murder country song.
Mm-hmm.
That's my set closer, so it felt right to kind of get that one out. And that was my first video, I think, that had done really, really well on socials. So I put that one out, and then I had written one called Drunk Enough. That was like my mom's favorite, my manager Emma's favorite.
Yeah.
And so that's like, you know, you need that in a set.
Yeah.
Now I've got the Man Killer song. I've got my drinking song. I've got my smoking weed beach song. You know, so I'm just going to keep going down the list.
I think I saw a little clip of the music video for Drunk Enough, and it looked like a rowdy time. Tell us a little bit about the production behind that.
Dude, that was like a Monday, I think, right? It was a Monday. We started early. I mean, we were cracking mimosas, and
It was shot here in Nashville.
shot here in Nashville at the Hubba Tiki Tonk. Hubba Tiki Tonk, man. Wild. It was a wild day. That crew was there all day long, and by the end of it, I mean, they were feeling good.
Yeah. Was that one of your first like major music videos, or like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other videos that I've done in the past, I hired like a wedding videographer before, and like I was like planning it out and just trying to get shots and then put them together. But this was like legit. Like
awesome.
They had scene by scene and locations. There was a prop person and lighting. Like it was really, really cool. And it made my job easier and just like the quality of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to do more, honestly.
Yeah. So you got more music coming out this year?
Yes. Every 6 weeks.
That's so cool.
Which other people think that that's like a long time, but it is not, dude.
Yeah.
Like after, like we just put this one out, I'm already thinking about the next one, and it's picking and choosing what one I want to put out next, you know? And then I keep writing songs, and sometimes like we'll have favorites. We've had favorites for a while now that we thought were going to come, like the order. And then I think a couple weeks ago we wrote one. We were like, ooh, I don't know, like this one's teetering. This might have to move up. And then just like I think last week I wrote another one that is I think going to come third.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So putting out these songs, are you gonna try to stay on brand with that like rowdy Sadie Bass vibe, or are we gonna hear some like maybe some sad songs from Sadie Bass?
So to be clear, I love a good sad song. I really do.
Yeah.
And I do have some really, really good ones, heartfelt ones that I've cried writing. But I was first thinking about what I'm playing in my set, you know, because a lot of times I'm an opener, so I need to like hammer down. I need to loosen everybody up. But eventually, once some of this music is out and I get to headline, like I want to dim the lights, I want to freaking sing that heartfelt song. And I've got a lot of good slow ones that are on the rise. But this third one even isn't super fast. It's a little mix between sexy and love and meaningful all at the same time.
Awesome.
So yeah, I've got a lot of different stuff. I've got hip hoppy stuff, poppy. I've got beats in there. I've got rowdy country. I've got a little bit of everything. Ballads.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
So obviously putting these songs out, you gotta tease them on the TikTok and the social media and stuff. Do you like doing that? Is that your thing?
I just recently have been really diving into socials. I think when I first started social media and I had a bigger following, I wasn't really like trying. And things were going really good, and I enjoyed it. I remember, like, I liked reading the comments and responding back, and I liked getting DMs because there wasn't also that many at the time.
Yeah.
Then as my socials grew, it kind of overwhelmed me. Like, I couldn't, like, get back to all the comments, or maybe I'd still read them to make sure, okay, nobody's saying any shit or whatever. But there's just been so many that I can't really keep up, or I got to look like once a week. So I feel like a little bit disconnected from my fans lately. But with promoting my new song, I've been trying different things where I sing along to the camera and I'm thinking of funny captions, but I'm really trying to find a way to promote it where maybe I'm just showing something in everyday life. I set up the camera, maybe I'm packing up merch, maybe I'm packing for the road, maybe we're at a gas station, maybe I'm showing what kind of food I'm gonna bring that week, or picking out outfits or trying on hats, who knows? And then I can just lay my music in the back and then figure out the caption. God, the freaking caption is the hardest part for me. But,
trying to be clever with the caption.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it fun again. I really want to enjoy it. And right now I'm still in the stage where it's hard and I'm like trying hard. And so it feels not fun and it doesn't feel like me yet, but I think I'm getting closer.
Yeah, I love it. So 2023, 2024, you said you're doing a lot of touring and stuff. What was the experience of like after you would get done with a show and fans coming up to you? How did that grow through playing all the shows?
Oh, man. Well, you got to remember the first year that I had toured heavily was a private house tour, right? So that was people's backyards. That was in their living rooms, their barns, their whatever. And so that was maybe only 100 people or so. Not all of them would come up. But playing those festivals this past year for like Rock the Country with the Catwalk and just like, 30,000 people at a time.
Yeah.
I remember I would get done and say, hey, I'm going to be over by my merch. If you want to come say hi. Because people on socials were like, hey, like, make sure I meet you after the show. I'm like, I'll be by my merch. But I would get nervous and I'd be like, dude, what if nobody like shows up? I'm just the opener. I'm the 2:00'er. But people would show up and there would be lines like waiting. So I've really loved that part. I like meeting everyone after. And sometimes they'll bring stuff or like letters or little gifts. I think I got a freaking pipe to like smoke weed out of one guy. This wood made one.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do.
I remember we just happened to be at the same festival. I think it was Greenville, South Carolina, or something like that. And I remember you standing out front of your merch and you had a line, 100 people probably deep. And I thought that was so cool because, people are coming up, having a conversation with you. They want to sit there for 20 minutes, but obviously you can't do that with everyone. But you make as much time as you can. And I feel like that's very important. So have you seen that like really help your career, just being connected with your fans?
For sure. I think they appreciate that after the show. I'll go and say hi to them because I've seen a lot of other artists who won't or you have to pay to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's our time to like see each other. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, send me the picture on socials. I might not see it for a week, but I'll see it.
Absolutely.
Where was that one in Greenville? Do you remember what that was called?
I don't know.
I don't know if we had one there.
Yeah.
We had to bounce right after. Morgan Wallen played that. No, he didn't.
No, that was
CCMF.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I was trying to remember which one that was.
I think this is the one that Braxton Wilson puts on. It's Greenville. But yeah. No.
We got a turkey in Greenville.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Me and Emma got a turkey together in Greenville, North Carolina, thanks to help of a little group. Yeah.
You went.
Our first one.
You went and shot a turkey?
Yeah.
So you're a big hunter?
Well, yeah, I mean, I ain't a big turkey hunter, but got one under my belt now.
Okay.
But that just makes me think of Greenville.
Do you do a lot of like hunting trips and stuff?
Everyone's always like, are you a big outdoors person? Are you a big hunter? I'm like, yeah, I was till I moved here. Now I live right in the middle of the city. But any chance, honestly, that I get, especially if I have like a show in a state and I can get, and it's hunting season, like deer season especially, if I can go, early and hunt, I will for sure.
That's cool. Growing up in Michigan, you weren't necessarily growing up in the city part of Michigan.
Right.
Kind of tell us what you experienced growing up and what part of Michigan, built you.
Which you're from Michigan too.
Yeah.
Let's go. Honestly, whenever I think of Michigan, I think the Great Lakes. People always think Detroit, and that's great. Go Lions. But they don't realize like we have literally a little bit of everything. We have the lakes. Every weekend you're going either to a friend's cabin or your own cabin on the water somewhere, breaking out the snacks, playing cornhole, you're by a bonfire. And then in the winter, it's ice fishing or you just freaking get to put on an extra 10 pounds and stay inside.
Do you like the boat?
Yes. Yeah. I still haven't been able to freaking wake surf.
Yeah.
Everyone makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can do the skis. I can get up on the skis, but
Yeah, I can ski too.
The board itself. Yeah, I can't do that.
I can get up on the wakeboard, but then actually same thing with snowboarding.
Yeah.
Can't be doing the carving. But I really would just rather sit in a pontoon and lay out.
Yeah.
Just like bake while somebody drives around and trolls. And I'm like, ooh, let me know if you get a fish. I'll be over here.
Did you play sports in high school? Like, were you athletic?
I did. I played volleyball, basketball, and softball.
Oh, wow.
I did track back in the day in middle school, but
what was your favorite sport?
I ended up playing softball in college for 1 year, but I think volleyball was my favorite.
Yeah.
I picked softball because I wanted to be outside, but volleyball, I was like, I had a lot of fun.
Were you the, what's it called in volleyball, the wears like the special shirt?
I was when I was shorter, and then I had a growth spurt. I went from like 5'4" to 5'10" from freshman to sophomore year, and freaking grew tits and everything, and I looked like a new girl.
Look at that.
And then I got moved in basketball from like guard, which I couldn't ball handle, thank God, to a post, and then from libero to a hitter.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's so cool.
God bless the growth spurt, minus finding jeans.
Did you go to college after high school, or was it like straight into music?
I went for 1 year, but I mean,
I did 2 years
I wasn't doing great.
at Macomb Community College.
Okay, yeah. Mine was LCC. I thought I was going to go for like physical therapy, I remember, because I had torn my ACL like junior year. And like that whole process, I remember came out and I was like, dang, I'm like more in shape now than I was before this injury. So I thought I wanted to do that. But then I was like, oh no, you have to like do science. And no, I can't do that. So
do you think like if you weren't doing music, you would have been forced into that, or you'd be doing something else?
I probably would have done something with sales or business or something.
Do you like sales and business? Are you a good sales lady?
I think so. We're right out of, I did waitressing and stuff. I was always good with that. Customer service. I was quick, fast. But then when I had quit college, I worked at retail at Buckle, which is really funny. Everybody hates Buckle. They brag on them. But we had to get people to sign up for credit cards and like your sales is how you got paid. And I ended up doing management there. And I was like, that's when I was like, ooh, I like this business stuff. Like I like seeing the numbers grow. And like, I don't know. That's when I kind of figured out. And it helps with socials too.
Yeah. I love Buckle. I actually do like some of their stuff they have in there. But the thing that I do not like is they're so aggressive when you walk into the Buckle. Like they're on top of your ass. You're like, okay, I'm out. It's like shit.
I still see that too. I'm like, hey, just so you guys know, I used to work here. I know everything is. I know the sizes is. I'll let you know if and when I need you. And then they're like, okay. I'm like, yeah.
What are some of your go-to brands when it comes to being on stage?
I like Tim's for sure. Timberland boots. I like Carhartt a lot. Levi's lately for sure. Hat brands. I'm all over the board. I love a good hat, but lately Country Liberty.
Yeah.
Stay Country. Nothing Fancy has always supported me. And shirts are fair game, man. Graphic tees. But graphics in the front. Guys always have it on the side, one of the tits, but I like it right on the front.
Right in the front. So you have all this new music coming out and everything.
These are so good.
All right, the gas. Good boy. Good boy. Delicious.
I'm not even trying to do an ad. These are actually really good. And good for you.
Good for you. Ish.
Yeah.
So you have all this new music coming out. Do we plan to drop a bigger project here in the future,
We have talked about this. We thought, for the first couple of 6 weeks, we put out, I think, 3 or 4. And then we thought maybe we'd bulk a group and put it out as an EP. But as of right now, I think we're still in between. We might be leaning to just keep putting out singles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, having talks with record labels and stuff, then they can fund a whole big project. Because I'm still paying for my own stuff, you know what I'm saying?
You're doing it.
It's kind of easier if I can just do one at a time. But at the same time, I would love to just, instead of every time I put out one, they judge me and like, oh, this is all she can do. Because right now all I can do is drink, smoke weed, and kill a man, apparently. I'd love to be like, yeah, I can, this is who I am, all these things, but they're just going to have to wait because it's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. So living in Nashville for a few years now, what's some advice you can give some future artists moving to town and going through the ups and downs of Nashville,
I'd say the first thing is to know that there's going to be ups and downs. It is hard, dude. You go in and you're trying to find your place. And the best analogy that I've used so far is that it's like high school. like when you first move, you're a freshman.
Yeah.
And like the seniors are the people who maybe have pub deals or have been around and they play the best rounds. They have a higher social media, whatever. They just kind of have it figured out. They know how the business works. But you got to give yourself grace, and you're not going to just like come in like you think and make a 10-year town, a 2-year town. Some people have done that with social media and blown up. Good for you. God bless you. But for everyone else, it's like you have to be so patient, but also it's not a bad thing because like you grow so much through the ups and downs, and like I don't think you really know who you are as an artist until you have to wait, be patient, and then you're trying to figure out your sound, and then you're comparing yourself to Jesse over here and Billy Bob over there, and you have to play the rounds, and you have to learn to network, and it's just going to take time. And I wouldn't come in super cocky, but I wouldn't come in and like talk bad about yourself either. You know, you just got to be right in the middle and just know that it's a process, and you're going to find your spot. You just have to be patient.
Right. Have you met or found some really good friends here in Nashville?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, actually, a lot of my closest friends are still from Michigan. Jason, Corinne, that had moved down too for music. Emma, my manager, my cousin Anna from Michigan. I kind of have a whole Michigan clan, but I do have some really good friends now down here, artists doing the same thing, and writers too. Yeah.
That's cool. I've seen some pictures of Jason on stage with you, and sometimes he's rocking a Speedo.
Dude.
Do you plan that, or does he kind of just do it on his own?
I'm pretty sure I asked him to do it when we played the Brantley Gilbert cruise.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, dude, you better bring your Cheetah one, your freaking jet ski one, your American flag one.
Yeah.
I loved it, honestly. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Jason Cross, he went viral a few years back for a jet ski picture.
Yeah. And you just put it up on the screen.
It still gets posted to this day, and it's so funny.
The captions with it are so good.
Yeah.
Too. He's an animal.
Right. So is this one of the first times that you've got to settle down since touring and really experiment with social media? If so, like, how has that been? Let me rephrase this. Okay. Since touring and stuff, doing all the social media stuff, mentally, has it been harder or easier between the touring or the social media?
Oh, is touring or social media harder?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd say tough question. Both hard. The touring was just hard for me because I had to get the hang of it, figure out what worked best for me, like the routine aspect of it, because there wasn't really routine, and then my body, and also just like self-discipline. Like, obviously if you get up and work out or whatever, you're going to feel better. And I kind of wasn't. I was just trying to get through it, man, trying to, be where I needed to be. But social media, I would say social media is hard because
you're doing it yourself.
I'm doing it myself, but also it's like I'm trying so many different things, and some things still aren't working.
Yeah.
So, God, that's a hard question. Touring, I feel like the more you do it, you can get better at it. You can figure out your thing. You can get disciplined, eat the foods you need to eat, whatever. But the social media thing, until you really get in a groove, like, that's hard. And you got to, like, just all the time be putting up your phone. And not only do you take the content, but then you got to edit it, and then you got to caption it, and then you got to put it up and do everything. Yeah. So I'd say the social media is harder. I think it's harder.
Yeah. Just to, mentally understand that, like, just because I don't have 10,000 views on it or 100,000 views, I'm still, trying, like, I'm still succeeding, I'm still doing it,
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, you're on tour and people show up and that's your success, right? You see the amount of people in the room, where the views don't always translate to, that mental success in your head.
For sure. And I mean, there's so many songs too, and writers out there that have made amazing songs and put them out. And it's not even that the songs are bad too. Yeah. It's just the exposure, the way that they went about promoting it, and the hands that they get into. And I know that firsthand too, because of the team that I have now, kind of helping, lay things out and get it in the right hands. But I mean, yeah.
How many, like, or how much are you writing? Would you say, like, a week or in a month, or, like, how much?
I usually write 2 to 4 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
probably 3 on average. Yeah.
Do you like it? Like, do you like writing?
I do. When I I've always loved writing. I was like, dude, I could do this every day. And I love going in with these ideas and hearing others. And then you're just hanging out with your friends, you know? And then if you get a good one, you just feel so good. If you get a bad one, then you like are like, dude, what the hell did I just do today?
Yeah.
But when I first had signed my publishing deal, like I remember leading up to it, I couldn't wait to get it. And then once I got it, I felt like this weight. And I was like, oh my God, this is scaring me because now I'm hired to do this. And like, if my shit isn't good, I'm getting fired. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to waitressing. Like, oh, what do I do? But I really spent time before the rights going in and stuff and putting time aside to really kind of get some good ones like in the bags. That way I didn't have to worry so much. But I think the very beginning, I put so much pressure that I wasn't writing well.
Yeah.
And then now, especially being off the road, I'm like, ooh, I can do this. Like, this is fun. It really is.
Yeah. Cool. So, what are some of the favorite places that you've been out there traveling around?
I like anywhere tropical, anywhere on a beach, man, where I can get me a nice burn.
Did you just come back from the Virgin Islands or something?
Well, I did come back from Florida, but this is a spray tan. We should do a vote. Is it better to be pale, pink and pale, and dry, orange, a little too tan?
I think orange and a little too tan.
Or, yeah, I guess only those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, dry too.
White,
pale,
dry.
or maybe a little too tan. This is spray tan, everybody. I think we've thought about this time and time again, looked in the mirror and we're like, I'd rather be a little bit too tan than not tan. But that might change.
Before the camera popped on, we were talking about the definition of podunk and what podunk is.
Yes.
What's your definition of podunk?
When I hear podunk, I think redneck. That's Podunk Town.
Yeah.
But I mean, redneck's the only definition I can come up with, right? Small town?
Yeah.
Podunk, like
small town, kind of dirty.
Small town, right? Is it dirty? I don't know. What is the actual definition?
I think it's like just that. Well, it is. What's the actual definition?
Yeah, let's look it up.
Define podunk.
I mean, what's the definition of even redneck?
Sorry, define podunk.
This is your brand. You don't even know what it means.
No, I do know what it means.
Hypothetical small town regarded as typically dull or insignificant.
Dull and insignificant small town. Well, that's to everyone else outside that small town,
see.
you know? So you got to have the podunk perspective to understand that small town's great.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have the podunk perspective?
Oh, for sure. I got songs for days about this. I'm like, that nowhere somewhere to you is somewhere to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like everything to me, pretty much.
So for people that don't know Sadie, she likes to crack a beer and have a good time. You that's part of your brand. How has that translated into your fans being like, oh yeah, I love that. You know, I love the rowdiness of Sadie Bass.
I mean, I'd say my fans like it, but there are people out there who are like, what the hell? You know, they're just thinking I'm freaking wild. I don't have a lot, I feel like, compared to most, but yeah, people will say stuff for sure. Like, and it's hard too because I'm a Christian, like I believe in God, and I'm like, you know, every day I'm gonna get better. The Lord's working on me. You know, I got a bad mouth for sure, but these are all things I'm gonna work out as time goes. But yeah, there's definitely some judgers on there that if you just do one thing, they think that's all you are. You know, but as far as my fans go, they have a good time. Like I said, they'll bring over some Mary Jane after the show. They bring this, that, and they're like, I heard you're fun. You have a good time. Like, yeah.
Hell yeah. So like, do you go out and party with your fans and stuff like once in a while?
Every once in a while, yeah. If I get a wild hair, if I don't have something the next day, or it's a travel day and the time is right, the air feels just good enough, and the whole band's in. I mean, yeah, we'll definitely go to like that after bar that they recommend, or hang out at the venue if you can. But if we're traveling back to back, then usually we have to wrap it up. But
are we doing like a van travel or?
Yeah, we're renting a van from Lance. Thanks, Lance, for letting us use your van. I mean, we're paying for it, but still, thanks.
Yeah.
We all cram in there, man. Except we went to Florida and it had no AC this last weekend.
That's toasty.
Yeah, the guys were freaking cooking in the back.
I bet. Do you drive or?
No, I'm not allowed to drive, which is bullshit because I got to pay somebody else to drive. Usually Emma drives and she's a great driver. But then when she needs a break, because we got to go so far and she has work to do, We have to have Aaron drive, but I've literally offered to drive in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember me and Emma got in a fight once about this in a hotel room. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I wanted to save money. I was like, I'll drive. And she was like, no. And I got so mad. But then later I thought, dude, this is great. I don't have to drive. And if I do and I get a ticket or I kill somebody, like, it's game over. So I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Are you guys pretty like aligned on like thoughts and stuff, like your career and everything?
I'd say so. When we first started, that's why we even came together, was because, you know, we had agreed on this kind of the same vision. And then as we went, we had realized that she's good at a lot of things I'm not good at. And so we kind of just equaled each other out, and we still disagree on things sometimes, but I'm glad to have somebody like that.
Yeah.
Because if you agree with me all the time, then
yeah,
it ain't going to work, because I'm definitely not right.
Right.
A lot of the time.
So you mentioned you're a little Mary Jane user once in a while. What's your go-to strain?
I couldn't tell you. Is that like that's not like brand names, right?
Well,
It's a hybrid or sativa.
There's sativa, hybrid, and indica.
I like them all, but I think I like sativa because when I'm high, I like to do it before I'm like cleaning or packing or piddling around. I want to piddle around, and then 10 minutes later, I want to get out my guitar and then get bored of it. And then I want to go over here and do something else. And then I want to like forget what I'm doing and just like do that over and over again.
Do you smoke? Do you vape? Do you eat? How do you take it?
I mean, my first love for Mary Jane happened with edibles from my Aunt Susie in Key West, dude. We popped one of those in. I had the best days. The best days. I was like, wow, life is great. But then I went to smoking blunts. But I'd say my most used is out of like a one hitter. Or like a pipe that guy made me from that show. But I like a one hitter. I like puff. I'm like a one hit wonder, dude.
Yeah.
Not in music world, I wish. But in weed sense, I need one hit. That is it. And then I'm good. And then I wait for it to wear off and I get another one, because otherwise things get scary. I get scared. I'm like, what's happening?
Have you ever had any crazy experiences? Any crazy trips?
I mean, there was one time that I was in a rite and I forget who had weed. Somebody had weed. Somebody else was smoking. And I think this was my first time. And I had never smoked during a ride. And I thought, oh, yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. Smoked. We were in a basement. And I remember just like looking around and being like, what am I doing? How am I living? How am I keeping my air in my lungs? Like, I have to think about breathing. Oh my God, they're writing a song. They're staring at me. They're looking at me. My eyes are squinting. Oh my God. And I'd be like talking and they were like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, no. And I couldn't drive or anything because it was too much. Whoever's weed I smoked, it was too much. But I haven't made that mistake again. I'm scared.
You taking smoking over drinking? Or is it equal?
I like smoking because...
Or both at the same time.
I feel like it's better for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I guess you could say your lungs and stuff, but it's natural or whatever, and I don't get hungover, dude. The hangover is the worst part, especially if you eat it, then you're especially good, or sugar-free gummies. But for drinking, this is the bad part of weed, though. For weed, if my eyes get a little... then I look super messed up, even if I'm like, nah, I'm just high. Yeah. So then I'm always thinking that people are looking at me, and then... yeah, that part's hard. But then for drinking, I like drinking and I'm more social and I'm a little loosey-goosey. But I hate the hangover. It's obviously terrible for your body. And then if I get to drinking and
there's no telling,
there's drinks in front of me or somebody's giving me drinks, I'm like, I just keep drinking. And then I'm Patricia, which is not like, gonna like break things, but I'm just different. Yeah.
Rumor has it 2027 it's going to be legal here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good. I've been acting like it's legal ever since.
Yeah, right.
Not on my porch, man. Good morning.
Sadie Bass marijuana company.
That would be nice.
Drop it. Be the sponsor. Have it.
Yeah, I do.
Your own carts, your own blunts, everything.
I mean, Emma's family's already got some things rolling.
Hey.
Not for a company. It's just for family, but.
Family use only.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had to buy weed. That's also a plus, too. It's for drinking, you got to buy it or you got to find some creepo at the bar to schmooze over. But for weed, it's always been free. So that's another
plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to spend my hard-earned dollars on this stuff.
Right. So what are some of the covers you like to play out when you do?
Gosh. anything Miranda Lambert. I can sing anything Gretchen Wilson, but I love Chris Stapleton. I love White Horse. I love You Should Probably Leave. Yeah. I can do a lot of Jason Aldean. I can do a couple Brantley Gilbert's The Slow Ones. Keith Urban, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
I don't have like, I guess, specific songs because I can do a lot of different things, but I'd say that 2010 chunk was like my favorite.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Some new artists today? Is there any new artists out there? Like are you into the Ella Langley and the Megan Maroney vibe, or what's up with that?
Megan Maroney like reminds me of Taylor Swift, which I liked Taylor Swift back in the day, right in the beginning. Yeah. She's a little too like dull for me, but I do think her lyrics of her songs are so good, and she definitely has a spot in country. I don't have a ton of her songs personally, but I get what she's doing. Ella Langley, I mess with. She's so good. She's badass. The bangs are doing her justice. I mean, she's killing it. I love her vibe, whatever you call that. And then Lainey Wilson. Yeah. Dude, Lainey Wilson is an absolute icon. Like,
I feel like it's the perfect time to be a woman in country.
Yeah, except now the competition's steep, man. I should have freaking got on this 5 years ago.
You know, there's such more of a platform for it now, where it used to be like this. True. Now it's like, now the stage is like this. You can have all these, different artists.
And so many more girls to collab with and stuff. But I love Morgan Wallen, too. Zach Top is cool. I don't have a lot of his stuff. I have those, the Sleep Like a Baby, even though it's called I Never Lie. Yeah. Stuck in my head every day. His is more old style, but I like his a lot. And obviously Morgan's, Ernest.
What's some of your favorite Morgans?
Austin Williams.
Oh, Austin Williams is good.
Austin Snell.
Yeah, Austin Snell is good.
Freaking, there's so many.
Yeah.
I love everyone.
Yeah, rock country in general, right?
Hardy. How did I forget about Hardy? Whoa. Right. Hardy was like, I was like pretty obsessed with him.
And then you got those Lakeview guys too that are doing like the heavy stuff, you know. It's cool. It's country's being pulled in so many different directions, you know, whether it's the 90s country or rock country, and you know,
a lot of people rag on people for doing that, but it's like cool, you know, like if you keep doing the same thing, how's anybody ever going to stand out? And even if you stand out and you get a little hate, I mean, there's people out there that are going to like it. So do you, man?
Right. Yeah. I saw a video of Cole Wessel back in the day. He was singing like a George Strait song and he nailed it. But just like, you know, if you can't float between, you know, multiple different aspects of country, it's like, it's hard to make it in today's day when you just kind of sound like one thing, unless, you know, you're Zach Top. But that's just one of the few guys out there that just has his niche. And
For sure. And there's so many different aspects. There's like your voice, how it sounds. There's the type of songs you sing, what you sing about. And then there's the production, dude. Yeah. Getting them all three to really line up. Because you can sing a couple different ways. You can sing soft. You can really push it. You can do different things. And then I could, like, my songs I put out could be produced like Zach Top, or they could be produced like Morgan Wallen. So it's hard for us artists to really figure it out, you know, because we probably like it all too. And we're just trying to figure out what
everyone's
happens.
Trying to figure out. You know, everyone's on a swivel right now. It doesn't matter if you're a small artist or if you're Thomas Rhett or Luke Bryan. They're all on a swivel and they're trying to post new stuff and stay relevant. Especially with social media, everything is just constantly changing.
Oh yeah, especially the older artists, like with social media now, dude. Like they're like, I didn't sign up for this shit. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing about music. It's always going to be changing, right? When we think we get the hang of it, right? Something else can happen.
Yeah. What's so recently they had the Grammy Awards happen, and Beyonce had a little award winning. What's your thought on Beyonce's music and her album and her stepping into country?
I always loved Beyonce. I think she's vocally incredibly talented. I got down to some of her songs. I was going to say something, but I don't know if it's fact, so I won't say that. But no, I don't think she should have won that. Yeah. For sure not. No.
What about Post? Have you listened to his album?
Yes, I like him. Yeah. He's a sweetheart. He's good. He's cool. I mean, he really did lean into the country and made it his own, but it was still country. Beyonce's, it was just like, fuck it. It's just... Texas. But you know what? It did at least probably bring some of her fans who like pop or whatever she is, you know, to like country maybe a little bit more. So there's pros and cons, but to win that whole thing, wow.
Well, and I think people, I mean, especially people in Nashville, just like post a little bit more just because he's always hanging out in Nashville, whether he's at Losers or wherever it is.
I've only heard good things about him ever.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite bars in Nashville?
I like Losers. That's probably where I spend the most of my time. Red Door. Losers and Red Door, man. I don't do Broadway too much. Mm-hmm. But somebody did give a good point the other day. They said, don't be telling people on these podcasts where you go because then they're going to go. So maybe you should like bleep that out.
Yeah.
So Midtown though. Midtown. You guys don't know where that is.
Hardy already ruined that. He played a show here in Nashville and he said, Red Door, I'll be there. And 30,000 people or whatever it was. And now Red Door and I mean obviously Losers too with Post Malone and Snoop Dogg showing up. It's changing. It's turning into that Broadway vibe, but
yeah, we need to find new places to hide, man.
Yeah, there's still good bars out there.
You can find me at a Daddy's Dog's stand too. At 2
What's your favorite Daddy's Dog? What's your go-to?
Oh, I think it's called the Big Daddy, and it's got freaking cream cheese, jalapeno, and Daddy's extra daddy sauce.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have you had Jack? What about Jack Brown's?
Okay, I'm a psycho and haven't been there yet. And those are like the burgers with all the stuff, right?
Yeah, Jack Brown's
I
great.
have not been there yet, and I'm honestly ashamed of myself.
What's your go-to food spot if you're like,
wings?
Yeah,
all day. But I actually don't. I guess have a
wing spot.
Yeah, like I think I've just.
Had Neighbors
I don't really
in the
care as
Gulch
long as they're deep fried and
wings.
smothered in buffalo, then I'm good.
Okay, buffalo.
But I don't have a wing spot. Do you? I feel like Party Foul I had was bad.
I like Wingstop's good, but that's like your chain. I guess same with Neighbors too, but Neighbors has really good wings and Neighbors Gulch.
Oh yeah, I have had wings there. They're good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, there's a few good places in town. But we're actually weirdly enough, talking about food, I had a Caesar salad at Kid Rock's bar, and it was probably
you ordered a salad at Kid Rock's?
Caesar salad. It was probably one of the best Caesar salads I've had in town.
Ooh. Dude, that sounds kind of tasty right now.
Honestly. So it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. We were kind of just reminded ourselves before we even started this. Do you do anything for St. Patrick's Day? Do you celebrate?
I've never had like a specific thing I do. It's just if I get a good old text in the group chat that says, hey, we're going to do this or that, I'll be there. But so far I haven't seen anything. So we'll see. I know last year my family came down. We had ourselves a good time. They came to Nashville, but TBD. Yeah, and you said you don't know either, right?
No idea yet. I mean, honestly,
St. Patty's is just another day in Nashville, Let's wear green and go.
Yeah, everyone already
whatever.
treats every day like it's St. Patrick's Day here. I feel like,
What I'll be excited for, though, is April Fools. That's coming up. Something bad's going to happen.
What do you...
April Fools, dude? Yeah, we got to do something.
Do you celebrate April Fools?
No, but I mean, what a good excuse to just
you fuck with people?
I mean, yeah, I would. Sure. I'm going to have to start brainstorming.
Yeah. Mastermind plans. You got to check your band,
Yeah, I like scares. I'm a scarer. I like to pop out of the corner. I like to pop out in your most vulnerable moments. You think you're all alone. You think you're taking a shit and you're by yourself. Oh, I'm coming around the corner, man.
Pinch that shit off.
Yeah. Yeah, pinch that shit off. Yeah, I'm going to be doing something. Yeah. I don't know what yet.
What's your favorite holiday, if you had to choose?
I always thought it was Thanksgiving for a while because I could just eat everything and it's in the fall, which is like my favorite time. But man, the 4th of July.
I was going to say 4th of July is probably my favorite.
4th of July and you're out with all your friends and it's hot and everybody gets burnt. Yeah, it might be that. I might have to change it.
I think Thanksgiving's cool, but the food's overrated.
Well, what food are you eating?
Turkey.
Well, you got to have turkey and ham for one, okay?
Yeah.
And then you got to have the mashed potatoes with the gravy and the corn, mix that all together. Then you need stuffing. You're going to need the green bean casserole. My mouth's watering. And then you're going to need all of the pies and the cookies that your aunts make and that leave there. Yeah. And you're going to shove some in a bag and you're going to put it in your purse when you leave. That is what you're missing. Unless you already have all that. Maybe, I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe, I'll eat myself into a food coma.
No, I used to work at a pizza place, and we used to take all our Thanksgiving guys would bring in all their Thanksgiving leftovers, and we'd do Thanksgiving pizzas and stuff.
Dude, like that's sick.
Yeah, it was good. Honestly, I'm not a big cranberry guy, not into the taste of it or whatever.
I actually don't think I eat anything cranberry-ish either.
You do
for
like,
Thanksgiving, except
you
for
do,
that dump cake or whatever it's called. That shit's so good.
do you do marshmallows like on your sweet potatoes?
No.
Yeah.
And the cinnamon, no.
Damn.
Do you do?
Yeah, that's good.
I like sweet potato. I've had it, but I was like, I would like rather do salty or like spicy over this like sweet.
Yeah.
That's
No,
gross.
for sure, for sure. So
Are you just thinking of all these in your head?
Yeah.
You're doing really good.
Oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. It was a last minute, throw together, but Podunk Perspective. This is Sadie Bass, and she's the best.
Thank you for having me, another Michigan person, and for introducing me to my new favorite drink, literally.
Some good boys.
Yes.
Go check Sadie out on all platforms. Go check out her content. She's working really hard on that, and also all her music, obviously. You heard it every 6 weeks. She's got it coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.